Dan Illman, Mike Beer with Grade 1 action at Keeneland on Saturday. Race number 10 at a mile and a 16th on the turf. It's the Jenny Wiley Stakes for fillies and mares. Let's take a peek at the field. And the number 1 lady, Eli, her credentials speak for themselves. She's even money in here, but this field is fairly well stocked.
It's a pretty good field. She's going to have to be fairly, almost 100%, let's say, to off this layoff here. I think she's going to beat this field. In a lot of ways, she's just the best horse in here. So we'll see what happens off the layoff. I got a question for you. Here's my only. I think she's very likely to win this race. Here's the one thing that bothers me about her, and I know that she came back off that really long layoff last year and ran the 3 fastest races of her life. But to me, her calling card as a 2- and 3-year-old, the first 6 starts was a big, explosive turn of foot in the stretch. Did you see that in any one of her races last year? I didn't see that in any one of her races.
I didn't see that explosive turn of foot that I saw in the career debut, the juvenile fillies, the Appalachian, etc. I think it's a good point. But she still ran fast races. She still ran excellent races.
Really good horses.
Her Breeders' Cup filly and mare turf, I thought, was a super effort because she got bumped a little bit coming out of the gate, a little bit farther back than she was supposed to be. Afterwards, the trip worked out great, and Irad just was run over in the stretch by a really nice European invader in Queen's Trust. The layoff is really the main concern in this race. You would think that Irad will get her forward enough from the inside post to make that inside post work for her and save ground maybe in the pocket or just in behind. You don't want to be too far back.
No, I don't think he wants to get her too far back in this race, but yeah, we'll see what happens. I think she's pretty likely to win.
I agree.
think she's maybe just better than these horses, even if it's not by a lot anymore. I was a little bothered by the fact that, and listen, maybe it was because she went a mile and a quarter twice, and she landed in a really fast-paced race off that long layoff, and so maybe that sapped her kick, but I just didn't see that big explosive move for her in the stretch last year.
It's also possible that Chad, doesn't want to empty the well. First time out, he's got his eye probably on the Breeders' Cup filly and mare turf with Lady Eli towards the end of this year. He'd love to win a race like the Jenny Wiley, but she's already won major Grade 1 stakes races. I think Chad would just be happy with a nice, strong effort. He'd love to win it, but if not, just to see her run a little bit in the stretch. She is the horse to beat. From a pace standpoint, it appears that the number 3, Catch a Glimpse, is going to be on the lead. Let's see if the Timeform US pace projector agrees, and it does. Catch a Glimpse had a tremendous 2-year-old campaign, tremendous 3-year-old campaign for trainer Mark Casse. It seemed that she cycled a bit off form toward the tail end of 2016, but I thought she ran just fine in her seasonal debut. I mean, she was pressing a very talented horse in Celestine at Gulfstream.
I agree with that. I think that she ran pretty well off that layoff last time because it's not like she just sat off Celestine and was like, we'll be second in here. It's no big deal. They actually tried her in there. She settled for second best, but Celestine's very good. I'm surprised Celestine's not in this race. She would have fit right in here. I like Catch a Glimpse. I think she's a really cool horse. I think she's in very, very tough here.
Maybe if she can get out to an easy lead and relax. She's done good work at Keeneland in the past. 5-1 on the morning line for the 3, Catch a Glimpse. I wouldn't be surprised if she drifts a little bit off those morning line odds. Celestine, who beat her in that race last time out, came right back to score in the Grade 2. Honey Fox with a 96 buyer, and we'll likely see her in a race like the Just a Game on the Belmont Stakes. Undercard, one of the better horses, turf filly and mare horses on the West Coast, is Goodyear for Roses, the number 2, who has just blossomed since being switched to trainer Richard Baltus. 3 for 3 under Baltus's tutelage. I really liked her effort in the Santa Ana last time out, going a mile and an 1/8. I think she might be more effective going longer, however, and this is a hike in class.
Yeah, I think she might be a little better going longer as well. That was I liked her race last time too, but that was the kind of field she almost couldn't lose to those horses. This is a way tougher spot. She's a pretty good horse, though.
The number 6 is Time and Motion. You could make the argument that she and Catch a Glimpse were the 2 best 3-year-old filly turf horses in North America last year. She won the Queen Elizabeth II Cup over this course in the fall. And then Jimmy Toner, instead of running in the Breeders' Cup, I thought it was kind of an odd spot to turn her back in distance for the matriarch. I kind of like this filly at longer distances, so she still's going to have to handle a mile and a 16th, which I think is good distance for her. She's going to have to do it off a layoff.
It's a good distance for her to start out, and I think you're right. Maybe they'll eventually want to get her stretched out a little bit further, but you're right. Catch a Glimpse was sort of the best 3-year-old turf filly the first half of last year. You could sort of see Time and Motion getting to her at Saratoga, and then she got to her after that. This horse, I like the way she finished off her 3-year-old year. I think she's going to have a really good year this year. I think she's a good horse. This is a tough spot to start back in, though.
And Jimmy Toner, although a little bit underrated, is a master trainer. Kitten's Roar goes out for Michael Maker. We have a limited positive formulator fact for Maker. past 4 years, older turf routers off little layoffs and graded stakes at Keeneland, 20% a positive return on investment. Kitten's Roar just shows up each and every time. She finished second in the Daisy Divine last time out in the fairgrounds. A very fast race that has already produced 2 next out winners, and she can sit a good trip close to the pace under Joel Rosario, but this is a big hiking class.
Right, good. She has a good running style. She's a pretty good horse. She's a good trainer. There are things to like about her. She's just never been this kind of a horse.
I'm a huge fan of the number 7 Illman, who won the Grade 1 Gamely last May. It looked like she was on her way to having a big season for Michael McCarthy. She had some back issues after that that knocked her to the sidelines for the rest of the year. She sold for $900,000 at Facing Tip to November, was placed right back in McCarthy's care. And she was sharp going down the hill last time out at 6.5 furlongs. She might be sitting just off Catch a Glimpse early, as the pace projector indicates. Maybe she takes this thing over in the stretch. Worry about Illman. She can easily win this.
I agree, and she has the race already, which a lot of these horses don't have, and she will be forward in this race. So listen, if she gets right up there on the pace, takes over from Catch a Glimpse, she may not be easy to catch, and she'll be a good price in this race.
Kidura might have the most upside of anyone in this race. A very lightly raced 4-year-old trained by Graham Motion. She beat 4 next out winners last time out in the Grade 3 Valley View over this course at Keeneland, and one of them, Linda's, a nice one. She came back to win the Grade 2 Mrs. Revere at Churchill Downs with a 96 buyer. Tough outside post, but you know something? I think Junior's going to use this horse's speed, tuck in behind Illman, and try to work out a spot 2nd or 3rd fly 2-3 wide.
I don't think this post is supposed to affect her. She's got really good tactical speed. Now, she got a perfect trip when she won that Belmont race off the long layoff, first time in this country, but she was good winning it. And then last time, I mean, it was soft turf, which bothers me a little bit, but I mean, she was loaded all the way around the track in that field, in that race, and then she just took over in the stretch. I love the way she finished it off against, as you point out, some pretty good horses. I think you're right, upside all over the place for this horse, but she's another one just starting back off a layoff in a really tough spot.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the Grade 1 Jenny Wiley, one of 3 graded stakes races at Keeneland on Saturday. You like Dickinson in here, the number 4, 8-1 on the morning line. Kieran McLaughlin's just done a wonderful job with Dickinson, placing her perfectly, getting her to relax in the early portion of her races. She'd always shown some ability, but she'd been a little bit headstrong. She's now won 4 of her last 5.
Yeah, she's just a better turf horse than she is. She was always okay. She looked like she had something on dirt. She never put it all together. She's really put it together on turf. This is going to be way tougher for her. She's going to have to probably run the race of her life to win here. I like that she has recency, though. I like that Kieran just brings her right back into another race again. I like that she has tactical speed. I think Paco can put her into the race early here and get her a nice trip in this race. And I just like the way she quickens up in the stretch. I actually feel like she's won twice in a row going 9. I actually like her going a little bit shorter in this race, too. I think there are things to like. 8-1 on the morning line. If she's 8-1, I'm going to bet her.
Very versatile running style as well. She can adapt to any kind of scenario up front. My view of the Jenny Wiley is I don't want to have much money in against Lady Eli. I'm not sure I want to have a lot of money on Lady Eli at even money on the morning line, and she might be 6-5, 7-5. She drifts. I just think she's the best horse, as you mentioned early on. I think Chad's going to have her ready to go first time back. And again, I think she's the most likely winner of this race. But if I was playing multis, I would probably use Dickinson. I'd probably use Illman too. I think it's going to trip out beautifully. I'm a big fan of that horse. DRF Bets wants you to be a VIP at least for a week. DRFbets.com/VIP is where you need to go, and you start off with a $300 bonus. Good deal for lots of graded stakes action at Keeneland on Saturday. The post time for the Grade 1 Jenny Wiley, race number 10 at beautiful Keeneland, is 6:12 Eastern. Best of luck.